Microphone, get comfortable in your Zoom box. You know what time it is. La 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 la. Good morning, good evening, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I will be your host for the evening. I am Elemental. Happy Monday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. We've been doing this for 158 weeks now, y'all. 158. Can you believe it? But we have been. Here we are, still at it. Chapter 4. Let's do it. We do it every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're watching on one of these streams and you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number is on your screen. It is 279-995-364. Jump in, join the greatest community in the world. Connect with these poets. Listen, it is very, very different inside the Zoom. Join us. All right, we do this week after week after week, thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills, right? So we would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by checking into neweurekan.org/contribute or by hitting the Cash App at $New Eurekan Poets Cafe. All right, make sure you're plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. All right, Ron is doing a lot of things this evening. All right, so we may see Ron in a couple of places. There's Ron. You know, we may see him, but that dude he's doing his tech thing this evening. So shout out Ron. This is where you can find me. Make sure you are plugging in with the rest of the Storm Force too. It's Ray Jane, Paul Con Queso, of course, RMT. It is going down, y'all, for real. All right, tonight's theme, mentorship, right? The patience of learning, right? I'm looking forward to hearing about the importance of having someone's guidance, right? What I've always heard is when the student is ready, the master appears, you know? But what are some of the things that, you know, you've gotten from one of your mentors or some of your mentors that you still carry today? And how did that apprenticeship, in a sense, kind of teach you the patience of learning? So I'm looking forward to it. Coming up next week, here we come, coming at y'all, Haiku Mania, all right? Next week is actually National Haiku Day, right? So what I'm challenging everyone to do is two things here. One, everyone bring a haiku. That's the standard for next week. Everyone starts with a haiku. After that, I am challenging everyone to write in a form or style that you haven't, right? Whether it be limericks or sonnets or sestinas or villanelles or contrapuntals or pankus. Bring your styles to the table next week, all right? Start with a haiku and bring your style next week, all right? We're going to keep National Poetry Month moving right along. Again, it's all about challenging yourself, right? So here comes a challenge on top of the challenge. Bring your style next week. All right, let's get to these rules so we can get to the poetry. All right, yeah, we got somebody else here too. Poets, turn your cameras on. We're trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. We love to see the expression that goes into your poetry performance. Listen, plus I love the background. So turn your cameras on so we can share in your energy, in your creation this evening. All right, turn your cameras on. Poets, have your poems ready, right? If you're going analog, dog ear the page if necessary. If you're going digital, have the file accessible, ready to rock. If you're using music, which is totally cool, please make sure it's original. We don't want the agents of the interweb interfering with our stream. So make sure your music is original. Poets, you have 3 minutes to rock, right? You have a 30-second intro. Let the folks know how they can find you, where they can find you. Also, change your Zoom name to coincide with whatever tag or, Instagram, whatever handle that you want folks to know. All right. But again, 3 minutes. Make sure we are keeping close eyes on the time, folks. I don't want to time company. Seriously. We have reached night 9:30 for the babies, folks. All right. There are some explicit lyricists in our community, right? And there are also some very powerful poets that will take you on some very powerful flashbacks, and they can be triggering. All right. The founders of the cafe were very big proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will maintain it in every vein of all that we do. Therefore, there is no censorship other than any ism or hate speech that people may use to try to manipulate people, which will not be tolerated. There is no censorship. Thou hath been warned. I'm telling you, this is truly a call and response space. After the poets rip open a part of who they are, spilling out their spirit for you, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you can unmute yourself and you let the poets know and the community know that you are here, that you are experiencing and being a part of this energy. Don't worry about your neighbors, y'all. It's Monday night. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway. So unmute yourself, let the folks know you're in here and share the energy. Trust me, I've said this before, every ounce of energy you give to the poets, they will give back to you in their poetry performance. All right. Sign up tonight is closed. Sign ups begin 24 hours before the show, all right, which is Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. To sign up, you go to newyourekan.org. You click on full events calendar. You want to click on the Monday that you want to perform on. You will need an artist RSVP ticket. That's the only way that you're going to get on the guaranteed list is with an artist RSVP ticket, and they will not populate until 24 hours before the show. So make sure you're plugging in. And again, that time is getting shorter and shorter, y'all. So make sure you're plugging in. The ticket is hot. All right. Also going on in the cafe, right? The open mic hosted by B, the artist, is jumping off the Wednesday night, or actually Monday night. Sorry, that's still going on. Actually, that's happening in the building. All right. Also check in on Wednesday night. Open mic, Felicia, of course, hosted by Felicia Cade. Also Wednesday Night Slam, hosted by Jay Rose. All right, coming up this Thursday and through the rest of the month, you got the Chasing Joy Writing Workshop Series. This one coming up is hosted by our own Nico Diaz. Make sure you're plugging in with that. Thunder Lung Thursdays, y'all folks know what it is. I believe the queen is in the building. Shout out Thunder Lung, we'll hear from her. And Friday night with Jive. If you're about that slam life, make sure you are plugging in. All right, tonight's list, folks. Got some color involved, some folks that we haven't seen in a while, and some new voices. Always love to see the color. Let's get to it. There's all my rowdy friends here on Monday night. What is good, beautiful people? What is good? Tonight is going to be another epic edition of our community getting together and burning down these Zoom boxes, right? So, if you folks are prepared, I will drop the list in the chat so we can get to it. Coming up first this evening is the legend in our community. The blacksmith is here with, I'm sure, some of the latest and greatest of what he does because it stays so sharp. The one and only Michael Sindler is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Michael. It's always great to see you. Take it away.
Yeah. Oh, man, absolutely. Always great to be here. I am going to start off by putting up this thing for lighthousewriters.org, which I'm always saying is wonderful and has all kinds of stuff. I want to mention that their annual Lit Fest is coming up in June, and registration for that has already started. So go to that site and pull up the Lit Fest catalog and look at all the amazing things. There's just mind-boggling stuff, and there are a couple dozen or so things that are available through Zoom, so everybody doesn't have to come to Denver to do it, though it would be a nice idea if you wanted to come to Denver. I'm just going to real quick get started here. I've been busily writing away for the month, and I'm going to try and get through some real quick ones here if I can get my thing to work. This first one, you could kind of say mentor. This is called Half a Comma for Denise Levertov, based on a great essay she did. The duration of half a comma, bare drama of an inhalation, step in line makes time take notice. And next, this one's called Last Log Left. We become a different edifice than our inner architect imagined. Beams still brave to bear load, jut out precariously, weathered sand-scarred walls, carved language of wind, a song for fingertips. Tufts of wild grass bloom from cracks, shift foundation, alter equilibrium. Darkness inside cut through, uncertain curtain sunbeam. Mistakes clutter for memorabilia. Last log left in hearth misses its match. And the next one I'm going to do is called Epitome. What comes after the epitome? Is that when you get rid of me? Moment staged to strategic retreat, softened, savage exposition of defeat. What comes before the inception? Does time exist beyond perception? How to build on what is not constructed? Could a dream undreamed be abducted? What space lies beneath the nadir? Is depression deeper than a crater? Spirit tumbling from sky to sea for lack of you and too much of me. And I'm going to do this one that is called Viewpoint. And this is actually sort of for everybody here. Zoom is the most imperfect mirror. Perception pushed back from myriad rooms. Unrecognizable appraisals so different than those lived in for decades. Fresh interpretations unreliable. Each point of contact alters impressions. Old faults better hidden. Reflection of fresh growth. Flaws sanded down to reveal finer features. Deference to dissonance. Viewpoint instability. What do they see that is or isn't me? Okay, thank you very much.
That dude does it. I told y'all he does that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Michael Sindler.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah. Michael Sindler.
Sindler.
Great way to open the show, bro.
Yeah.
We love you, brother. That was fantastic, man. We love you, brother.
Listen, I love when we get a chance to hear Michael Sindler, because again, his poems are always so sharp, right? I'm surprised they don't cut the screen. Listen, just some of the things, right? Soft and savage disposition of defeat, like just how you flipped into the rhyme and the verse, man. It just fresh interpretations of unreliable. Listen, I love how you weave words, man. Like, no, I would love to see what your word blanket looks like, man, because it is definitely intricate. Thank you, Michael Sindler, for being a mainstay. Make sure you are plugging in with lighthousewriters.org. Trust me, he would not be singing their praises if they weren't on it. So make sure you are plugging in. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you. All right, coming up next, Harrison, the only Jedi master I know in this galaxy, this poet right here, man. This is why we're still doing it, right? One of the OGs of our community, the one and only Paul Skiff is in the building. Unmute yourself. Please let the folks know where they can find you. It's always great to see you. Go ahead, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for that warm welcome again, Elemental. Just going to read an excerpt from this thing I did for last week, what was too long. So I'm just going to read part of this thing as like a praise for the founders. And I guess that's my collective mentorship. So it's sort of on theme. I think I could do this in 3 minutes. It has a title, 1095 Days Aglow. During year 3, the pestilence, sated with victims, mutated into fate's lesser chance. Among the microbes, genetically diminished predatory odds and anniversary night dodges reveres how this moment conversates with the past, whose persistence forges us, is repetitive spark of beginning inflamed by healing's breath of urgent need exhaled from the turning point. A long ago afternoon whim gathering of circumstance leapt from sing-song provocation, danced off Maria Algarin's mothering tongue, telling her son he should bring his poet friends home to read to each other, birthing this necessity that honors collective survival in ardent chorus inevitable, whose or else is absence where you would be discontinued. Hear it? Sound serum unifies spirit talkers within sanctuary, loved into existence as passion conspiracy improvised from how empty space bursts open to combust as this transcendence room, a voice now emanating within your own body. Las chamanas de las palabras, yo grito sus nombres. Subversive trickster humor of Reverend Pedro slides punchline on the audience like it was a condom. Ancestral Manitou conveys powwow chants inherited by Diane Burns's one-eyed Ford tongue that illuminates survival miracle. Her voice, single light beam piercing depredation storm of colonization. Ntozake, whose choreo poetry dances in a music that chooses two lovers with counter melody dazzles, ignited from verve of outliving Jim Crow and repurposing enough of the rainbow under which colored girls no longer consider suicide. Lois, who lives to this day as the foot of a continuity bridge that conveys from time long ago fireworks over the plaza to spill their red glow like wine on Holy Communion of each door-stoop conguero, where she burst her poetry from mouth of her hearing heart bomba. Brick tears of Bimbo Rivas, excavated from deep need, pound pride's drumhead to declaim this afternoon will be a protest, chasing real estate barons up the avenue where Loiside awaits with decades of ancestral endurance to impart monumental fact. El Barrio's patrimony will not be gorged upon by bloated prices served to the white order. Miguel's horny intellectual mischief lays down to scratch its back on broken bottles and vacant lotware. A liar and a storyteller agree to disrupt propriety with laughter's yummy rechupete climax, dampens comfy jazz mattress, literary bochinche alboroto uses to seduce what people call dull everyday life. The award-winning bitter turnstile jump drama of Miguel Pinheiro, whose ashes scattered upon El Barrio now daub ears of giggling children, so in their hearts, Loisaida sky whispers stringent love, all bicultural people know as resistance to pathological styles, behavior, glamour, and cultural trivia the host culture pollutes with. Realize this, listeners. When you come here, you only risk remaining the same person. Our humanness has no more fertile place to swell than in this room, in the room where you are sitting right now, where Loisaida illumines you in the room where you sit right now, because you are on the right frequency. This is the wavelength of beauty. I was called to this meeting. I came to this meeting. I came to this transmission. I came to this transmission meeting to celebrate our love at the New Yorican Poets Cafe in the sky. The New Yorican Poets Cafe in the sky.
See, this is why this dude is a straight jewel. Unmute yourself, give it up for Paul Skip!
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Killing it,
honoring
bro.
us.
man,
Thank you.
talk about just really paying it back to the mentors. Wow.
Man, right, Michael. Like so much of just what you just spilled out right there, Paul Skiff, is things that we've heard, right, pieces of those stories, right, but never heard it said that or mentioned. Maria Algarin's mothering tongue said, "Bring your friends back here," right? That's just one of those turning points, right? That has continued today. Thank you for keeping their memory alive through you and reminding us who came before us to make sure we know how much further that we need to go. Thank you, Paul. Goodness. Can't say you had to do it in 3 parts. Yeah, man. I don't know if one brain could hold all that in one time, right? He said, brick tears. Brick tears. Damn it, Paul. Whew. Brick tears. Appreciate you for coming through. Make sure you're plugging in to the one and only Paul Skiff. All right, folks, coming at you. So, give y'all a second to get ready for this one here. So, clearly, we know last week and the week before, we're celebrating our 3rd anniversary, right? And we had a couple of things going on. We had a raffle and we had a trivia. And the winner of said trivia would end up with a collaboration with Ray J. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to witness said prize in the flesh. Yes, it's happening. Oh, it's happening, y'all, for real. First up, our usual leadoff hitter, books on books, our resident beating goddess, the one and only Deadpan Lizzie is in the building. And
Many blessings.
Listen, and Beanie blessings to you, Deadpan. And coming up with her is the host of our Thursday night online open mic, the one and only Thunder Lung is in the building. Again, I don't know if any of us are ready for it, but please, y'all, take it away, please.
Greetings, family. Welcome back, right? To me, right? Because this ain't my show. So we're excited, myself and Lizzie. We are here to share our collaborative piece. Lizzie definitely shut it down on the trivia on the 3-year anniversary. And so it's been a pleasure and honor for me to collaborate and create something with Zer, okay? And then just so you know, not only are we creating something together, but we are creating something that was within Lizzie's own form, right? Lizzie made her own poetic form, and we decided to make a poem within that, right? So Lizzie, why don't y'all tell them just a little bit about that form, and then we could just jump in and, you know, be respectful to everybody else that gotta go.
And of course, Beanie blessings to you, Ray, RM2, our whole community. Yes, so I won the trivia prize to collab with the wonderful Raging, and last year I created a couple forms of new poetry called Pankus, Pan for Deadpan, which Ron helped me come up with that name, so thank you, Ron. And one of the forms is an epic Panku, which is a 9 by 9 by 9 poem, which means it's 9 stanzas, 9 lines, 9 words each, 729 words. And I asked Ray if she wanted to do it in our collab in that form, and she said absolutely. And it's been a pleasure to write this with her. We're excited for you to hear it and share it. And yeah, we're gonna. And it's most of you have my book Kundabini. There's a couple of them in Kundabini. So if you're familiar with that book, you'll be familiar with the style. Yeah, so I'm ready when you are. I think I'm first, right, Ray? All right, so this is called the Goddess Collab. A wand overflows over two souls instantly connected, two palettes of languages that surf over one another. The universe works hard to interlink time-traveling vibes. Two deities taken from Eve's rib to create gold, precious metals that hold value, kindness, charm, tenacity, yet always shine like diamonds in any cue light. Life transcends deep and luxurious principles to educate with. When their linguistics are missed properly, change can happen. 'Tis not an illusion, but a reality of grace.
Ever wonder what might happen if two light beings combine their legerdemain? Made Big Bang out of pain, invite wandering souls to their twin flame, offer a real antidote, balm for what ails, inking their pens. Composing drafts of forever in each blink of their eyes. Sister spirits hand clap sonic frequencies and sentences meant to instigate, raise intentions to resurrection, to action. Wielding the worlding wisdoms of innumerable nebula, we goddesses somersault, catapult each other light years into highest missions. The acrobatics of alchemists, emoting, mixing potions, combining words, spelling, in presence of past selves, welcome to eat, consume all that has finally been learned, the pain that bent itself into poems, arching deep beneath compacted soil, digging for ourselves in the cosmos below feet. Realms reveal themselves within this collective, duets of sirens beckoning to better, softer collisions than encountered in routine. Two pushes past the pinnacle, from ascendancy we see through, beyond what covers you. Obviate masks, re-mother you. We combine majesty, guard all daughters of Phoebe and Hilera, raise hell before any unworthy well, drain another drop of water from matriarchy. We fly on, quenching, drenching, and willing to drown all casters, gladly put Pollux down, for any more of ours get raped by colonizers, mistakenly themselves for gods. Righteousness, like Idas and Lynceus, risk being slain to provide sufficient offering, but us goddesses, have learned to save ourselves, self-liberate. Trade words, sharpen iron, shred what keeps sisters sequestered, mysterious and mischievous. Treasure hidden in plain sight like Helen and Clytemnestra. We powerful and dangerous, divine dyad, feminine, crafty enough, hiding war and galloping assumptions of gentleness, tenderness in full display, while also capable of garnering freedom by any means unleashed, words murderous when necessary, dichotomy, and also many things we goddesses, we lightning, peace, igniting in our brightly shining eyes, all the better to see wickedness with, warriors assembling beneath breastplates, thunderous when deep in duality, goddesses stampede for liberty.
Too regal to walk down the fractured avenues and streets, we fly away from the tea stains to stay close to the rain and the clouds. The sky asks us to cry out our fears so tears can teach us all how to persevere. The boulders on standby to bulldoze femininity down. We'll never understand stones may only break our bones. We may have breached a gap with the mortals who cling to the pebbles in the concrete below, but we'll always heal. We are the Queen Esthers and Miriams of the current divine, and no Hamans and Pharaohs can force us to wear their scars. The acetration unnecessary to mend these temporary blisters. Our faith and voices, the colors, only medicine that keep us here. The more we color outside the lines in our poetry, make statements instead of always asking the patriarchy questions, the faster we grow equity. Following in the flight step of our Marasis, Lacanias, Atropos, Colato, our kindness and intelligence will always be above any gods in their role, given we are the enforcers of fates. The waters we swim in cannot sting us. We will always be part salt. Without it, we would be ordinary and flavorless. A sad way to get by in life when touched down by the Creator and their gift to explore and design our own. Brainwaves are pushed out of zones that have never and will feel comfortable. Every day we must find a way to make our own universe more colorful, and every mortal that breathes the same air we are forced to inhale in order to survive. We look to our mentors for guidance, ask the questions that will never be completely answered, to push the endless nuggets of knowledge out of our non-halo noggins, so we know extraordinary will always be a remarkable trait and lifestyle. We hold each other's energies in space to honor sisters, Euphrosyne, Aphrodite, Satyra, Gaia, Hera, Athena, Artemis, and always ourselves. Thank you. Beanie blessings.
Oh, goddesses on the move. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Deb.
What the fuck is happening?
Boom.
Thank you for writing that, Mira. It was such a pleasure.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Oh my
Thank you.
God.
It's fine. Yes.
Yo, y'all just crushed it. Beautiful.
Thank you. Such a
Beanie
pleasure
blessings.
to love you. Such a pleasure to write with Ray Jane.
Thank you,
Such a
Lizzie.
pleasure.
That was so dope. Y'all fucking rock, man.
Oh, thank you, Thomas. Thank you.
Unbelievable. Just fantastic.
Like,
Thank you,
this,
Mike.
this is why I continue to say this is the greatest community in the world, right? Because what you just experienced was new shit on new shit on new shit, right? This is how we continue to build on what we do, right? This is so I'm coming back at both of y'all real quick. I've done collabs and I love working on collabs with different artists. Tell me what was something that both of you took away from working with each other?
I said to Ray, like, before we hopped on this, I've done collabs with men, but this was the first time in 2 years I've done collabs with women. I mean, as much as I love the men in our community and I love all the collabs I've done with the men, but it was such a blessing to finally do it with one of my sisters here.
Hell yeah. It's time for the ladies. Y'all brothers done had your time. Sit on down.
Hey, listen, you can have it. I'll make sure that the carpet is clean. Y'all got it, you know? Thank you for that, really. It really is a beautiful thing to see poets come together that have mutual respect and love for each other, that actually want to get down in what they do. That's magic, right? As Ray Jane said, the acrobatics of alchemists. Yeah, we just got a whole show right there. Like, We lightning peace igniting. Like, and I love that Lizzie said, stay close to the rain and the clouds, right? You know, we need to make our universe more colorful. That is so very true, right? And this is what I love about what we do. Even though it was such a beautifully monstrous piece, there's still so many things that you can learn from, right? Because if y'all wasn't hip to all those names they dropped, make sure you go back and listen, because they dropped quite a few goddesses, including these two. Make sure you follow them. Thank you. Both of y'all are so incredible. I love y'all. Y'all are just so amazing in everything that y'all do.
Thank you, y'all. And y'all try to pan cool. Listen, it's a style. Your family made it. You got to have at least one pan cool in your book if you write in a book. Why not, right? How often can you say you know the person that created a style? I'm humbled to be able to work with you. And I encourage your humility as artists, right? Because we can learn from all of us, right? And I don't know what Lizzie's going to sharpen when I join her in the creative process, but I'm open to it. And I encourage you to, you know, adjust to the light of the other people around you, right? Don't diminish it. Let it shine on you and warm you so you can go and do the same thing for someone else. Taking up enough of y'all time. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much.
On Thursday.
For sure. Make sure you are plugging in on Thursday with the host, Ray Jane. Listen, again, this is what we're here for, right? To help the community make these connections, right? To show them that you can actually find something that's going to inspire you, right? And then you end up collaborating with someone. Again, these are two more poets that I mentioned. A year, 2 years ago, they would have never been writing together. But guess what? Here they are bringing us incredible work together. This, yeah, I'm just a fan. Sorry. Shout out a couple of people before we move on. Shout out Kyle Studstill. He was on the list this evening, but he had an emergency he had to take care of. So sending that cat positive energy. Mia Aguilera is in the building. Always good to see Mia. Open Minds, Catalyst, Thomas the Catalyst in the building. Had the true honor and pleasure of hosting in their space on Friday night. Man, make sure you're plugging in to Open Minds. Truly a welcoming space. Shout out Melinda Lucas in the building. Also saw Denisha come through. Man, cannot wait to see all y'all and hear all of the crazy, incredible, beautiful madness that is poetry Monday night. Let's keep it going, y'all. Woo! Appreciate y'all for being here, everybody. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, this gentleman, I continue to tell y'all, hope your medulla strapped on tight because he's about to do it again. Gentleman always has a tendency to raise the IQ in every room he steps into. I can tell you he is not your damn chihuahua. The one and only Mr. Tezasomo is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Mr. Tez. Take it away. Always good to see you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Folks can catch me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019. And shout out to our brothers and sisters in Tennessee for Let the Light Shine On. They've done some amazing community organizing over there. I'll save the song for Thursday. So this piece is titled Páramo Álvaro, Xocoyotzin and the Bulls of Pedro Malgarejo. It's story time. So fade in, exterior, encomienda, a Tepeac day. It was the day that Páramo Álvaro Xocoyotzin dreaded, being the son of Tepeyaczin, the ruler of Tepeyac, of the Tepeyac people. On his 9th birthday, he would have to submit to Ley 17, Ley 17. Ley 17 of the Burgos declared that the sons of chiefs under the age of 13 are to be given to the friars so they can be taught to read, write, and other things about Catholicism. When the sons reached the age of 19, they could return to the encomienda and teach others. There was no way around it other than death. Fray Pedro Malgarejo, a very close friend of a childhood friend of Hernán Cortés, was seen spiraling towards the village like a snake. He was seen arriving, road weary, lips cracked and baked. He arrived on his ass, donkey. The community knew why he was there, and their faces shone the mourning for the loss that they were to experience. Fray Pedro Malgarejo dismounted his ass and almost tangled up his ayate-worn sandals and his cincture, the quintessential rope belt worn around the waist that was Malgarejo's symbolic vow of poverty, chastity, and obedience, with its 3 knots representing each one of the vows. Xocoyotzin's father was defeated by diseases, the allies of the Spaniards, and those Spaniards that manipulated the grievances of the local people. He still remembers when his father was forced to convert to Christianity and how they took away his name and gave him one of those unwanted Latin names. Xocoyotzin, bright and curious boy, will be taught by Fray Pedro Melgarejo. Fray Pedro Malgarejo. Piyali Nokniwan. Good afternoon, my friends. Fray Pedro Malgarejo stands in the village courtyard with his full audience and stretches his arms straight up in the sky and closes his eyes, remains silent while the local people scan the sky to attempt to see what the friar is seeing that they don't see. Fray Pedro Melgarejo. In the name of the Holy Trinity, Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. I, Fray Pedro Malgarejo, by the grace of God, in the presence of these men whom I have brought with me, the people mumble to themselves, looking for the other men. He mentions, but only see an ass, which he wrote in. Fray Pedro Malgarejo, which, by the grace of God, I have come to the village of Tepeyac and declare and proclaim that from this day forward all the sons of the chiefs found and discovered by me in the village, and which may be discovered hereafter by or by anyone else in my company, by virtue of the authority which the Catholic kings, my lords, have given me, shall belong to the crown of Castile and Leon. The local crowd buzzed and mumbles in disbelief. Comments were heard, hide your sons. Fray Pedro Melgarejo, I do this in order to prevent any other Christian prince from claiming these young men. I also declare that all the people who live in these lands are vassals of the Catholic kings, my lords, and that must obey and serve them. The community continues in disbelief, murmuring, hide your riches and your grains. Fray Pedro Melgarejo, I further claim that all the goods and riches found in these lands belong to the Catholic kings, my lords, and that no one else may take them without their permission. Fray Pedro Melgarejo finally puts his hand down and opens his eyes. The crowds continue to scan the sky for any evidence of others besides Fray's ass. The friar signals to Xocoyotzin, Ya tikisa, we are leaving. Fade out.
Even when he tells stories. Please. I mean, you know, this is what he does. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Tezasova.
Fantastic
Awesome.
You rock.
The whole
Powerful
master
as
class.
always. He brought you a staircase. Thank you so much, bro. Climbing up.
A whole masterclass, right? A whole masterclass. Whichever course you would like to take, storytelling, mind-blowing, Tez talking. This gentleman does so many things. Thank you, Mr. Tez. You know, you do such an amazing job of weaving in your language, and I continue to love when you do that, right? Because you have taken that responsibility to make sure it stays alive and it stays in our mind. So thank you for that. And then just the way that you do it, damn it. Tried to give him one of those unwanted Latin names. No. But of course, the thing that I couldn't help but see was the ass, which he wrote in on. Thank you, Mr. Tez. The pictures that you paint are just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Hide your riches and your grains. Hide your sons, he even said, from the Catholic kings. Not touching that. All right. Thank you, Mr. Tez. Really appreciate you. All right. Coming up next. Oh, listen, if I didn't know this cat like I know this cat, I would yell at him. So I'm just going to keep it down just a little bit. Damn it, man. Where the hell you been, man? You know we're supposed to hear from you. Listen, this gentleman is, he is involved in so many things. His poetry is incredible. Listen, this is the only cat that I know who can teach you Black calculus, right? His upcoming work is going to be phenomenal. He is also a part of the Words of Prophets. Listen, prepare yourself. The one and only Norm Mathematics is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Math. It is always good to see you. Oh my goodness, it's always good to see you. Please, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Unmuted. And thank you so much for being here. I haven't been here for a while, as you called me out, bro. I got you. And I'm doing my best to be present, one breath at a time. So here we are. I'm gonna start off with this piece, and then I'm gonna go to that mentor piece. Title, I am fractal. Presumptuous to think one moment follows another. Life flows away from now, seems like forward. Time is how we measure chaos and call it order. We are dots connecting ourselves to make sense. Next piece. I feel like this piece and the theme about mentorship, I didn't find the word mentor in here, but this is what our mother's intention is. I am the harvest. Planted in fallow ground, my roots dig deep, sprawl in all directions. Mother Earth meets me where I am, sends me love messages from beyond the veil. My seed, planted generations ago, give me birth. I germinate with a purpose. I hear the air enter my body. Ancestors on the wing, on a breeze, a hummingbird's whisper. The oxygen molecule sings, silence to a listening ear. A still heart resonates with rhythms of earth rumbles. Dreams and hope buried in my genes animate my life with ancient promises. Water flows through my roots. The wisdom of my ancestors nourishes. Evolution, experience, and concept from past humanities guide my first steps away from the womb. We are composed of the same wind, water, and earth, elements that connect all of us living. Living eternally, we embody the potentials of balance and harmony, a challenge to calibrate the chaos without a silent dance partner to the chaos within. Peace.
Listen, one breath at a time, one poem at a time. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Normatic.
Yeah, Norm.
Yeah.
Looking forward to your play.
Love you.
Nicely put
Nobody
together.
like you, bro.
Bars on bars, brother. Y'all better take your pens out. Class in session.
Just so beautiful.
I love you all. Thank you so much.
Listen, this gentleman is just one of those folks, right? He can slice you up with his pen, or he can pull out his fencing and do a number on you as well. Thank you, Norm. Listen, I totally understand, right? One breath at a time. And we are here breathing that one breath at a time with you, right? Listen, that line is gonna sit with you for a while. How we measure chaos and call it order. Oh man, listen. I germinate with a purpose, no doubt. I believe that, all of our poems are seeds, right? Which germinate with a purpose. So thank you for even taking the time to know that the wisdom of our ancestors is nourishing and listening close enough to hear hummingbirds whisper. That was dope. Appreciate you, Math, for real. Make sure you are plugging in with mathematics. Get Black Calculus and his upcoming work. Trust me, it is phenomenal. All right, coming up next, newer member of our community. I don't know what kind of triptych he's gonna take us on this evening, but it is no doubt gonna be dope. The one and only Nemo Zoom is in the building. Unmute yourself, Nemo. Always good to see you. Let the folks know where they can find you, man. Take it away.
Thank you. Great to be here. Such a beautiful space. I'm Nemo Zoom in Latin. That means I am no one. I'm one of the guerrilla poets here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And a shout out to Shane and Ja and Wits, who are mentors of mine. I have a micro triptych, but it is not based on mentorship. Is this the day when I have nothing to say? The weight of this thing feels overwhelming, feels familiar, feels like my fault. I am the villain of this story. I reach for words but find nothing, not in an elegant way, but in a putrid, sickening lack of movement, stuck in the stagnance of silence that makes it impossible to breathe kind of way. How can I reach out and risk pulling someone into the quicksand that holds me? I'm trying to get out, but I'm trapped and unable to overcome the weight of today. I find my pill case. Today isn't empty, and suddenly the day makes sense. I can never stray too far from my medicine because it changes who I am. My personality, the one I want, comes from a handful of little shapes and sizes, with nonsensical numbers neatly printed that must mean something to someone who isn't here. I'm bound to this piece of plastic, labeled with the days of the week, so I don't forget what it takes to be me every day. I am a desolate planet, atmosphere long ago blown away, pockmarked with impact craters, harsh, cold, uninhabitable. Thank you.
Oh man, he did that shit, y'all. Unmute yourself, give it up for Nemo Zoom.
Nemo!
There's so many there. That
Beautiful.
that was such a powerful piece that I think so many can relate to.
100%, Michael Sindler. Listen, first shout out for the definition, right, or translation of your name. That's kind of dope. It's pieces like that, right? First shout out to the Guerrilla Poets. I love how you put those things. Again, I told y'all we were going on a triptych, and being on the other side of it now, we can see, right, that sometimes we are unable to hold the weight of today, right? Sometimes it can be difficult and we feel like we're going to pull people into the quicksand that holds us, right? But then there are days like today, right? When you got a whole chain of folks that's going to help you out of this quicksand each and every time, right? Of course, I caught that, man. You said, first of all, you said, oh, I saw my pill bottle. It isn't empty. Suddenly my day makes sense. Shit. And then about, so I don't forget what it takes to make me be me every day. Shit, Nemo. Shit. I love that. I really, so many different things on that one. Thank you, Nemo, for bringing that. Really, like Michael Sindler said, I hate that we have to say some things like that, right? But unfortunately, it is the truth, right? So we have to know how to exist anyway. So thank you for being strong enough and fearless enough to not just exist, not just survive, but to do it with style and bring it here to us every week. Thank you, Dee. Coming up next, this poet, a mainstay of our community, continues to burn up these airwaves. Listen, I believe they have a manuscript on the way as well. Listen, I'm telling y'all, this poet does this. The one and only Vex Lex is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Lex, how they can connect with all that you do. Please take it away. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Elemental, and shout out to everybody in this space as always. Yes, you can follow me on IG at VexLex Poetry. And like Elemental said, I may or may not have a book coming out. So, you want to keep in contact with me, stuff like that. VexLex Poetry is where, you'll find out everything. I have 2 pieces today. The first one is called Mathematician. After a fair amount of time, you start to wonder if life's ultimate goal is to continue to play tricks on you for as long as possible, to have you in search of its secret formula, the answer to your woes. But you have called yourself everything except for a mathematician. And the second piece, I kind of want to just dedicate it to my high school assistant principal, who took a chance on me and was probably one of the first people who made me actually feel like a leader, that someone like me could be a leader. So here is mentorship. Dear Bryant Harris, let this poem serve as my personal thank you. You helped me learn myself, helped me realize that the girl who always faded into the background, played dodgeball with the gazes of crowds, could step into the spotlight and deserved to be there, would be welcome there. I'd never thought of myself as a leader, could barely lead myself into a conversation, dragged my feet in the hopes the other person would take the reins. Would-be discussions died in vain, all because I did not believe in myself. Insecurities remained, but there was a pep in my step, a glide in my stride. I lived my life on the sidelines until you called me to play. Thank you for helping me see that even on the days when I am less than eager, I will continue to be a leader. Thank you.
Shout out the educators. Woo! Unmute yourself. Give it up for Vex.
Yeah, hooray for the educators and mentors. Yeah, Vex.
Thank you.
I'm looking for that book, Vex. I'm
Wow.
looking.
Yeah.
The book would be a treat.
Not only a book, a manuscript, he said.
Ew. Listen, Lex, I don't even have to tell you, right? Your community has already told you. They are ready for it. They are ready for it. Whether it's happening, whenever it's happening, no pressure, no rush. When it's ready, and we will be waiting for it. Goodness, a mathematician. You damn right. I don't know how many of us, but I'm sure plenty of us are still in search of that secret formula. Believe it. Couple of lines in the second piece, right? Plays dodgeball with the gazes of crowds. Come on, right? I could barely lead myself into a conversation. Come on, Lex. Right? It's those things, right? Thank you for sharing one of your mentors with us, right? And now we get to just enjoy all of what he helped bring out that was already there in the first place, Lex. Thank you for sharing that and being a valued member of our community. Looking forward to that manuscript too. All right. Coming up next, folks. Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened tightly. Put your hands and feet inside the ride at all times because it is about to take off. Coming up next, it's another one of those mind jobs. 2 of our community members are about to do this thing, y'all. Oh my God, it's going down. Coming up first, this gentleman is always coming through with all of the damn gusto, right? Continues to come through with the sharpest pen because he is that dude, the one and only, the Magus Gustav Salas is in the building this evening.
Let me stop you for a sec. There's no collab tonight. No collab. CP Mays and I are not doing a collab tonight. It's just me.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Sorry.
Gustav. No worries. Because listen, the beauty of it is we still get to hear the one and only Gustav Salas. And we'll hear Stevie Mays later. Don't worry about that. Look, it is always great to see you, Gustav. I cannot wait to hear what you have prepared for us this evening. Let the folks know where they can find you, Gustav. Take it away.
Okay, thank you, Elemental and beloved poets. It's great to be here. I'm Magus 801. Stop by, say hi. I have 2 political pieces for you tonight. A lot has been happening in the political world. I stand with the Tennessee 3. This is called Arrested Development in Tennessee. Tennessee, 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 Tennessee. On March 27th, 2023, 6 people killed in Nashville, Tennessee. Take me to another place. Take me to another land where children are more important than guns. Understand? Take me to another place. Take me to another land where assault rifles can be banned. Justin Jones, Gloria Johnson, and Justin Pearson, the Tennessee 3, were protesting the slaughter. Can't you see? They were doing this for you and me. This madness must be stopped. You must agree. Take me to another place. Take me to another land where children are more important than guns. Understand? Take me to another place. Take me to another land where assault rifles can be banned. Lord, they stood there black and proud, making a stand to shout out loud that assault rifles should be banned. Instead, they were shit canned from the legislature. They were ejected, to which they'd been duly elected by the people of Tennessee. No more representation for you, you see. Different treatment for the white woman, you know, because this is the same fucking Jim Crow. Take me to another place. Take me to another land where children are more important than guns. Understand? Take me to another place. Take me to another land where assault rifles can be banned. And this week, 2 different rulings on mifepristone, the morning after pill, came down. One in Texas banning it. This is called I'm pro-choice. If men could get pregnant, abortion would be a religious sacrament. You would be able to grab the morning after pill at 7-Eleven in Cool Ranch and flaming hot flavors. Listen up. This is not about protecting life. It is about controlling women. If they cared about life, they would vote to feed children. They would vote to house them. They would vote to educate them in schools safe from gun violence, but they don't. They are not pro-life. They're just forcing women to give birth, and that is cruel and unusual in the extreme. Women are not domestic infant suppliers, you medieval monsters. Repeat after me, erections have consequences, and elections have consequences. I urge all of you to stand for women's bodily autonomy and vote as if your rights depend on it, because they do. Thank you.
That dude is a bona fide shit starter. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Gustav Salas.
Thank you, Gustav. Thank you, Gustav. Thank you for protecting our reproductive rights.
Be careful, ladies.
Love the energy.
Yeah, appreciate you being such a great ally.
Indeed, Michael Sandler. Indeed. Listen, another one of those pieces that I hate that we even have to write. I hate that we even have to discuss. I hate that we even have to go into it. However, I am glad that you took it upon yourself, right, to tell them, right? To bring in that arrested development, right? Listen, the way you did that, Gustav, right? It just connects people in so many different ways, right? It's the same fucking Jim Crow. It is, right? Take me to another place, another land where assault rifles can be banned, where children are more important than guns. Why would you need to say that? Why would anyone need to say that? But clearly, they are flags that say, come take it, not let's protect the future. Thank you, Gustav, for making sure that we know what needs to be said, right? Appreciate you, really. All right, coming up next, this cat, I keep telling y'all, man, and the more I learn about this cat, the more I'm gonna warn y'all. Let the church say, God damn, the one and only CP Mays is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Mays. Always good to hear you, man. Take it away.
Word. Good to be here. And definitely good to be a part of this. I don't know this. I don't want to say a new wave of New Yo, but to be like a part of this collective and this coterie of artists. So we're talking about like mentorship and all of that. When I was in the Marine Corps, I remember being in the field and in my back pocket was like works by Socrates and Plato, and I'm having to read underneath like a camo because I didn't want my light to be seen from distances. And I got out, and it took a person dying and believing in my gift for me to take it more serious. So in that process, I remember going to class, and one of my professors found out, just so happened to find out about the accolades from the world comps and all of that. And I was explaining to her like, yo, I think I want to go to an MFA program. She straight up told me, you're not good enough. Oh, and come to find out, like I ended up going to the college I'm at now, submitting my portfolio and paperwork, and got into the writing program, creative writing program, poetry. And I'm just here to say, like, don't let no one put you in the box because of your writing style, even if you don't write in stanzas. Like, if your poems stand up on paper and you happen to do it on stage, you're good. Your mentors to teach you one thing, a good or bad way, take what you need from them. Here's a poem where I had to learn some things. It's called Rule Skating. My dearest starfish reader, my figurative language has been flexing on the future as if there's a chance that the history books might forget me. Diction drenched with dope fiend, crackhead, junkie sweat, with MacBook blood, I've been using Jesus's palm nails as digital quill feathers. Often offering asphalt arrogant dope boy banter for jailhouse halo hallelujahs, as if asked to be a kilo of uncut karma, cocaine karma, slung my speech patterns across writer's blocks with no fear of red ink policing up and down my paper, left my never play it safe, anti-ego imagery, piss testing my wild, wild west rules of engagement, left the half-hearted bounty hunters after my humility, heartbroken, left similes suing me for saints selling out a list of, listen, Lord, I'm not at a loss for words yet. Rule learning the criticisms of literary theory, left my English professors loving me. Rule breaking, riot gear, trench coat, workaholic, street grinding rhetoric, left the thugs loving me for life. Rule skating around my brass knuckle, let's start a dragon fire faith, let the future loving the fight in me. I find skeletons in my closet, giving standing ovations for how my spine stands up without a hanger. I found that out of an angel's alcoholic's withdrawal symptoms, Jesus turned water into wine. I found that yearly Valentine's Day cards to Mary Magdalene granted my gifts with the love of Jesus, addicted to conversing with Marilyn Monroe, over mixed drinks about how beautiful her overdose was. My Molotov cocktail catharsis stays joyriding around my halo with whiskey. Just wish me well breath. Adam's apple armed me with an Armageddon. God gassed up my gifts so I could drive anything written home when the lips of an I'm longing for you, Lord, finds me leveraging Lucifer's hellfire from my tongue. I find my sometimes, somehow, sin some way, signing themselves up on an open mic in purgatory. Diction loving the no language restrictions like fuck yeah, like fuck you, fuck holding back maze. I find that breaking the curfew of cursing at the right time is as important as pumping the brakes on an iambic. Swinging wild and wide with my rhetoric. I'm the reason why the devil doesn't have wisdom teeth. Clutching stanzas as if they were shotguns. I stay ready to shoot down any fear giving me dirty looks. I swear, y'all, I'd burn a metaphor to the ground before I let shallow waters run deep with lukewarm language. I swear the whole world's a stage where actors can't remember their lines. I swear love language is something I can't stomach the lessons for sometimes. Scaring the bejesus right out of me. My English professors started confessing that my poems were as strong as some of the ones on the syllabus. So I was scared. I started track and fielding feelings just to prove I'm Kurt Cobain and Sylvia Plath's love child, scaring the devil right up out of me. Denver University's law department had a feature. Studied my syllabic in order to make cross-examination stronger. Knowing graduate students would have to write essays covering your feature will ever so humble you. Knowing someone else will have to critically write about your feature will ever so humble you. It's one of the reasons I'm ever so humbled. Thank you, Nuyo. Learn from your mentors, good or bad, y'all.
Man, I told y'all what the church say. God damn. Oh, mute yourself. Give it up for CP.
Good point, man. Learn from the good and the bad.
I know him.
I know him.
Your energy is so holy and unholy at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, some contos so holy and unholy at the same time.
Go get some water too.
Fucking blowing my eyes wide open, baby. Whoo, boy.
Oh, it's love.
Just blood clot poet, just come up on here and just do that damn thing. Like, listen, man, you, man, I don't know if you are sipping uncut karma, cocaine karma, or you snorting cocaine karma, boy, because you want something else. Whiskey, just wish me well breath. Come on, man. Come on. Breaking the curfew of cursing. Come on. I'm the reason the devil doesn't have wisdom teeth. Man. And then of course, right? I don't know, right? And I will cuss at you later because he said that he is the Kurt Cobain and Sylvia Plath's love child. You hear that shit? Come on. I got you though, Maze. Make sure you're plugging in with CP Maze. That dude is a bona fide monster. All right. Coming up next, from one storm conjurer to another. This cat, I'm telling you, he does a thing where he changes the atmosphere in the room. Another storm god in the building. The one and only Zonkonto is here, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Zonkonto. It is always good to see you, brother. Take it away.
Much love, everyone. Thank you so much for your poetry. I didn't write for this particular prompt, but I had a poem that I felt was relevant because to miseducate a child is probably one of the worst things to happen to what mentorship is supposed to inspire. So this poem is called I would have told my carpentry teacher that I loved trees. To miseducate a child is to miss the chance to create something so wild in its imagination. Something one hot air balloon short of its helium soul, and to watch it lift from the ground to the sound of morning birds to the skin of the sky and see the ridiculous vastness of it all the way they imagined. Or if you're like me as a child, to remain amongst the trees and let the spirit of the forest bleed into me, such that whatever poetry was growing inside is tentacled with the branches that carry my ancestors' breath, their chests and the shoulders the size of baobab trees. So when I heard that my carpentry teacher had passed away, a strange sadness put a chainsaw to his memory. By all accounts, he was a good man, a man of iron discipline. But to us forest dwellers, this man was no god. We had seen trees that towered above him. He was no emperor. The trees had seen his naked soul. But when I heard that he had died, something put a chainsaw so deep into his memory, and I heard the loud scream at the root of it, and eventually it fell with an ear-splitting silence in the depth of the forest. I haven't been there ever since, but I went back to see where it lies today with this poem. So these are the things I never got to say to you, Mr. Ngwenya. I loved trees. I woke up every morning as a child to climb a tree, right in the middle of the front yard, dead center of one of the tiniest spaces in the world. There lived a fir tree so majestic, I thought it lived part of its days in the heavens. I thought that somewhere in the sky lived this large, smiling woman called God that let the tree sit in between her thighs and braided the sweet fruit of that fir tree into its afro puffs. I loved trees. And when they cut that tree down around the same time that you started teaching me, you were dead to me. Your classroom became the workshop of the devil. To miseducate a child is to tell them that beauty can only come from destroying the things that you love, that certain things can only be pieced together by breaking their spirits. In a classroom, this very second, there's a child learning that carpentry is not geometry, that tap dancing in the stars is not astronomy, that studying insects is silly since yellow jackets do not sell in the stock market, that their ancestors were not the same voices that they heard in the forest, in the songs of their roots, the same ones whose tongues you urged them to chop into pieces and stop their poetry mid-sentence. Thank you.
Damn, we crashed into that shit. Unmute yourself, give it up for Sokoto.
Bien bonisi.
That's one of my
Beautiful, brother.
favorite. That's one of my
Brother
favorite
Griot,
poems
thank
from
you
you,
so much for
Sokoto.
singing
Thank
to
you
us
so
tonight.
much for
That
sharing
whole
your
thing
Beautiful.
with the
That's one
goddess
of my favorite pieces
having
from
the
you, man.
tree
Like,
beneath her and
it's
around
so
her eyes.
beautiful,
Oh my
man.
God.
So beautiful, man. Let the force live on.
I keep telling y'all this is the hypest night of the week. There's so many folks here that do this. Do this. And listen, I know he was describing someone, but there's no way that you could tell anyone in here that your shoulders are not the size of baobab trees. You come carrying a forest, brother, every time you show up, right? Every time you show up. I told y'all this cat is an atmosphere rearranger. Storm force is taking over, y'all. I'm telling you. Appreciate you, Zomkonto, for just bringing all that energy, man. Woo! That's how you do it. Real quick, I got to shout out someone who came in the room. I've been reaching out to this poet, and I'm so thankful that they have found the time to come through. The one and only Poetic Desire is in the building. It's been too long, East. Good to see you. Indeed. Shout out to the folks who are watching on YouTube. I see Dewana D's, Unangel, Surfrido, I believe, I'm sorry, and Alexa Janelle. Appreciate you for coming through. East, what's good? So good to see you. Can't wait to hear you. Glad you made it through this evening. Real. If y'all don't know Poetic Desire, make sure you're checking in a mainstay of our community, hasn't been around in a while, but dope all the way around. Appreciate you for being here, East. All right. So before we get to the next poet, I am going to shoot it over to the dopest tech in the Zoom verse, the one and only RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Ron, take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemental. And give me a sign. Can you hear me okay? Okay, cool, because I'm speaking through a different device here, but thank you again for allowing me to tech assist you like here on every Monday. Really appreciate it. Great Monday as always. So let me screen share my the slide here. 1 second. I am actually in the New Regan Poets Cafe, as everyone can see in the background here, because we started a great new program earlier today, the Monday night poetry slam hosted by the Bee, and this was super. Right now, you may hear some music upstairs. Soul's open mic is going on. So let me tell you then what is going on at the New Regan Poets Cafe. Share screen. Here we go, share, and let me move this away. Again, this is all new to me, but here we go. Okay, and Elemental, give me a thumbs up. All you can see is the slide, right? Cool, perfect. So, as some of you may have seen, we have finally sent out our newsletter again. Great information. Everything that I'm going to tell you was already in the newsletter. So, if for any reason you have not received the newsletter, contact us. Go to our website, newregan.org, and click on the link contact, or send us an email at info@newregan.org, because we want to make sure nobody misses any of our programs that we're offering here. All right, so let's go to our weekly programs. I mentioned we started a little experiment this month. We added new programs. One of them is the Monday Night Slam Open, hosted by The Bee. We just had that in person at 6 p.m. earlier today. It was great. I was working in the tech booth. It was a wonderful, successful event. Stephanie won the slam. She actually also happened to win Friday Night Slam. If you haven't heard her, she was amazing. This is going to be for the rest of the month, every Monday, 6 p.m. in person. And as a promotional offer, tickets will only go for $5. So check that out. Of course, not to forget, we are still running the Monday night online open mic, in which we are in right now with Elemental. So this will continue, and you know how to get your tickets, on our ticket site, 24 hours before performance tickets you can get. And right now going on, the Monday night open mic in person, no longer 8 p.m., it is now 9 p.m. To make space for the slam that we have earlier. So this is hosted by Soul. You can still come to this, Elemental and I will not be mad if you decide to go to the cafe. We want you, to again, check out any of the, the programs that we're offering here. They are all amazing. All right, going next. Wednesday night, we added a new program starting this week, every Wednesday for the rest of the month, 6 p.m. A new Wednesday night open mic in person hosted by Felicia Kadem. This one, any genre, poems, stories, comedy, music, 6 p.m. in person. Or if this is too early for you, we will continue our Wednesday night poetry slam. It has moved to 9 p.m. now weekly. And this month, our new host, Jay Rose, you may remember she guest hosted last month. She is our new host, official host starting this Wednesday. We love her. She did a great job last week. We actually sold out for this event, but we just increased the tickets counts to accommodate more ticket sales. So if you still want to come this Wednesday, don't hesitate, come on out. All right, Ray Chain, we heard her earlier today collabing with Deadpan Lizzie. She, of course, will continue. Thursday night online open mic, 9 p.m. Eastern time. You know where to get your performance tickets. And if for any reason you forget to sign up, Ray Chain continues. So good luck round at the end of the open mic. Everyone who is in Zoom can still sign up for those. All right. Also, I added that to the weekly lineup because Voices and Vibes, our karaoke and independent music showcase, will become a weekly next month. This month, we just had our first Friday night of Voices and Vibes this past Friday. Again, it was great. We had lots of more independent musicians than karaoke singing, but we had a great mix of everything. It was great. The next one, Friday, April 21st, 6 p.m. in person at the cafe. And one more chance, special promotion. Tickets will only go for $5. So if you have friends, you always wanted to try karaoke, come down to the Lower East Side, check us out. You will not regret it. Okay, Friday Night Slam. This is still happening with Child Poetic, 10 p.m. every Friday. After Voices and Vibes last week, I actually stayed in the audience. I sat at the bar, and it was a powerful night. I have to admit, I've never heard so much powerful, amazing poetry that was presented on that night. So check that out, Friday Night Slam. Okay, monthly programs that we have at the cafe. ASL Slam on the second Friday of each month, 6 p.m. The logo that you see here is the sign language logo that the ASL Slam organization has on their website. The New Rican Poets Cafe is one of their monthly venues. They also do monthly events at the Bowery Club, so check them out. Definitely worth it. La Brua will continue her writing workshops at Studio One, which is a few blocks from the New Rican Poets Cafe. La Brua is our executive director of the New Rican Poets Cafe. That one is free. I think you just have to RSVP with her or show up. You see the address. It's at Studio One, 5961 East 4th Street in Manhattan in New York City. This is last month's flyer, but it will continue every last Thursday of the month, our Behind the Groove dance competition. As you can see, cash prize, it is hosted by Rockefeller. And Salsa Jam every last Sunday of the month, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. $10 tickets with the legendary Combo Regan Ensemble. Check them out if you can. All right, we have a few special upcoming programs this Wednesday. If you can't make it to the Lower East Side, to New Rican Poets Cafe. We are also in collaboration with Barrio BX, which is a restaurant in the Bronx, New York City, on East Tremont Avenue. Nico Diaz, our special assistant to executive director, is hosting and curating that program. And as you can see on the flyer, La Brua and Tabitha Adams are the featured readers. I've been there last month. It was great. Check them out if you happen to be in the Bronx. Chasing Joy writing workshops, and again, sorry about the little background noise here. The open mic upstairs is going on right now. All right, Chasing Joy writing workshops here is last Thursday. AIM facilitated the workshop. This week on Thursday it will be Nico Diaz. Next week Vanessa Chico, and on the last Thursday in April it will be Cap. This one is held online in Zoom, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You may purchase tickets at our ticket sites for this. Saturday, not this weekend, the following weekend, Saturday, April 22nd, we will present a free training. It will be by the Justice Community and Communities United for Police Reform. You can see it on the flyer, Know Your Rights. What to do when you have, when you get stopped, by the police, and, you have certain rights, so you can sign up for free. I put the QR code. It's also in the newsletter that, if you're on our mailing list, you will have received. This is a free event, Saturday, the 22nd of April, 12 p.m. And the following day, on Sunday, April 23rd, 3 p.m., we will present our Jazz Heritage Series, and we are celebrating Jazz Appreciation Month, which I didn't even know was in addition to National Poetry Month. This one is features Rome Neal and his Banana Pudding Jazz Band, and not only is his jazz band named Banana Pudding, but he actually will also serve banana pudding at the bar. This one, again, at the New Rican Poets Cafe on April 23rd, you might either buy in-person tickets or online Zoom tickets. This will be a hybrid event that you can attend. All right, and last slide. For anyone newcomer, how do we sign up for any of these programs? You can either come to the door, but then you may risk that the event will be sold out. So if you want to secure your tickets in advance, go to newrican.org, which is our website, click on full events calendar, choose the date and time, and then purchase your tickets or scan the QR code. All right, I hope I did well with all the promotions. Again, there is something for everyone, in case you were wondering, like, well, what is going on? Everything, there is something for everyone. Elemental, again, thank you for hosting on Mondays. Ray Chain, thank you for hosting on Thursdays. And, see, I'm so confused. I think I'm going to announce the next performer now, which is Tanish. Tanish, I'm going to ask you to start your video and unmute you. Tanish, thank you, as always, for attending our Monday night and Thursday night online open mics, hailing from the West Coast. Tanish, let everyone know in case they don't know where to follow you, and then the floor is all yours.
Okay, thanks, Ron. You can follow me at tanishkantos.com or Tanish Kantos on IG. And I have three sort of short ones. Arrogance and humility. In soccer conditioning in high school, during team sprints, we were only as fast as our slowest player. If they didn't cross the line in time, we all had to run more, so the fastest player would take the slowest player's hand, and you'd watch in wonder as the slowest one suddenly sprouted springs for legs and trailed a bit, but passed you jumping in stride. During my time, I had been both the fastest and the slowest at different points, and there's a special kind of humility required for each, and even more perhaps if you've been both. And I know we are a society that worships warships, bars no different from cubicles, capital a glowing thieving cross. But if you climb high enough to glean the penthouse, watch your downstretched hand glow with the touch of the one below, toppling the tower into a field. And one for my Nanaji, which is your maternal grandfather. For my Nanaji. My marrow, my mother, my Nana and Naniji, feed me sweet words and whispers, shared memories from my Nana's favorite color on us, my red orphan Annie dress, matching his red turban by the corded tan phone hanging on the wood paneled wall. He teaches me how to draw peacocks, and I practice and show him, his smile pushing up his silver mustache netted beard. His last visit after my mother's death, a few years before his own, her absence screams through the house from the legs of silverfish and centipedes stampeding over the fireplace at dark. I make orange juice popsicles in the afternoons, toothpicked in ice trays. I don't give him one until he asks. I have no one, no support. I disappear into books until 4 a.m., a lonely time. I have no one and push him away, and now he gives me gifts, presents, reminding me that men can give. He gives me presents, attention. He gives me guidance, and it turns my fear into anticipation and fantasy and fancy. And the last one, if Jesus were Adam and Eve in one person, to lament and atone for eating the apple, he would have longed to heal the people. The power inside you can never topple. He would have said to kneel to the people. Just believe you don't need a chapel. He would have shouted to free the people. The wings of love grow from the shoulders. Wind, water, sun, moon, the birds, they all help tree the people. With earth we unite, and through this grapple, the strength we create is through the people. We use divine gifts to breathe life to creation, and with this art, we birth carefree people. We make and create with the universe, scalpel, fashion paradise on earth, it becomes the people. This is what Jesus would have said if he were Adam and Eve in one person. Thank you. I'm not.
Oh my goodness, so many quotable lines. Let me ask everyone to unmute himself and give you your flowers, everyone,
Yeah,
please.
honey one. Yeah.
Oh, it's so convicting.
Absolutely
Your words are so
beautiful.
convicting, Tanis. Your words are so convicting and beautiful.
Beautiful, beautifully said, Samkonda. Thank you so much, Tanish. You are amazing. Great poems or great words. Oh, love them. Amazing. Thank you again. All right. As Tanish was talking, I was going through some of the chats. It looks like, Jeff, we're going to have the Voices and Vibes right on the date you're going to be in New York City. So what a great coincidence. Also, I saw the note from Paul Skiff about the banana pudding, so that was a great idea, actually. Also, I wanted to thank everyone again for participating in our 3-year celebrations, that we did a week and a half ago. Congratulations to all the raffle winners again. I will be contacting everyone about shipping. A few minutes ago, I actually spoke to Nico to make sure that, we got all the items ready. Black Swan, I already spoke with your husband, and we're going to get the shirt sent out to you, and we'll get the other merchandise to the other winners. So congratulations to you all again. All right, next up, Finn Hall, which, if my memory is correct, is zooming in from across the pond. I hope I got that right. Finn, welcome back. Let everyone know where we may follow you if you're not in New York City, and then go ahead with your 3 minutes.
Hey, you can find me under Finn Hall on Facebook, Insta, and YouTube. And yeah, so next week I will miss the haiku show from New York, so have mine now. There you go. I'm going to do a couple of pieces for you. This, speaking of mentorship and collaborations and things, I love a good collaboration. And on a week Wednesday, I have my biggest collaboration so far, where I'm debuting over 40 poets and artists, all doing T.S. Eliot's The Waterfront. It'll be on Zoom for one show only, because I've got copyright for only one show. And I'll put the link on the chat. So I'm going to do this one. I mentor this young poet called Bilal Niazil, who stays in Pakistan. And a couple of months ago, we wrote this poem together, and it's called Deep Water. Dripping, spiraling downwards, the ocean floor awaits me. I struggle, but I cannot loosen the chains. My lungs struggle to hold the air within. My feet can't walk, for I am a tired pilgrim. I am ready to toil. I'm alive with passion, but the spirit is dead. And I'm jealous of the eagle whose eyes can see far, for mine are swooning. And deeper I sink, and the salty water fills my eyes, mixing with my tears, never ending, dropping deeper. My spirit is collapsing, my soul emptying. To me, the world is already hell, even though I'm not dead, but I yearn to live, for I want to breathe the tranquil sighs. Don't call a man alive whose spirit is crucified by a cruel world. The last of my air is almost gone, struggling to breathe, but hold. A hand reaches out, stretches, grabs me, pulls me, rescues me, holds me, saves me, caresses the air back into my life. Slowly but surely, my eyes are open. And I'm going to do this one too quickly. This one's written quite a while ago. Inspired, it's written a while ago. It's called American Gods. Nothing to do with theme. I just like it. Braggadocious swing rock playing, you're dancing with the sun. The stench of a broken heart prevails. The sadness in the funeral home. The women are mourning for a once forgotten son. And you may think that it doesn't have to, but the world will keep on changing even if you stay standing still. You lost it all because you left it all. Don't you remember? Don't you recall? Fear is fiction. If it's real in your mind, it's real in the world. And you let Wednesday sneak out the front door while with death you are preoccupied. And sadness is a feeling that even a dazzle of zebras can get when a lion takes one of their young. In separate hearts that once beat in time, now one rides the elevator to the afterlife where they have to acknowledge truth before moving on. And the other sighing in a cinema, watching movies made for one, retreating from reality. Yellow lilies, warm white roses step out of the screen between the ashes and demons, and the shadow moon gone, sometimes forgotten, but you remember where he has been. And King Cotton's not your memory, but your history so long ago. The past remains in the present, haunted by the hunters, when we're all different birds flying in the same sky, dropping out, falling down, mourning the forgotten, forgetting the morning when it all went wrong, when the flight feathers were clipped because they wanted to stop you flying, to stop you trying to be you. Control your living in controlling your death, cooling, sucking out your very last breath. Money lenders, avarice angels, witches whispering, stop dancing, we know what you know. You look away for a second, knowing his last breath was coming, and you missed that moment in time. And the music stopped, the sun went out, and that's when the beat went in the box and became that memory. Thank you all.
Ow. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Finn Hall.
Yay, Finn. Everybody good. Everybody make sure to catch The Wasteland. It's only one performance. Don't miss it.
Tremendous work.
Man, listen, he did say he has, you know, a one night pass to do T.S. Eliot. Man, that's gonna be incredible. Listen, thank you, Finn Hall, for hanging out with us, the crazy hour, right? And sharing yours and your apprentice's work, right? Shout out to the mentors in the building, right? It's never easy to do those things, right? But you do it because it's necessary, right? To ensure that the stench of a broken heart doesn't prevail as so many people. You're right, you know, all different birds flying in the same sky. I love that, right? Because we have to recognize the expanse of who we are, and there's really not too many differences in who we are, actually. Thank you, Finn, for staying up crazy late and sharing your incredible poetry with us. We truly, truly appreciate you. All right, before we move on, one quick time, everyone unmute yourself. Give it up for Ron Mark Thompson.
RMT!
RMT, you know
Down
me.
with RMT!
Mission control.
Thank you so much, guys. You're all amazing. Thank you.
You know how we do, man. You know how we do. Listen, like I said, if you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. All right, let's keep it going. Still got some folks on this list, and we want to make sure we get to all of them. Coming up next, this poet right here, listen, and I keep saying, you know, 6 degrees of separation is thrown out because this poet is about to do some things to y'all. I don't know if y'all ready. Ron actually mentioned this poet. They did win one of the prizes during the anniversary celebration. Listen, y'all about to witness this swan spread her wings for y'all. The one and only Black Swan in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online.
Hey, everybody. Y'all can find me wherever you can find CP Mays. I'll just keep it like that. Awesome. Thank you guys for this opportunity. I have a piece that I haven't read in a few years, so I'm just gonna give it a go, and I know it ties in, but I hope it touches at least one person. It's called The Sound of Light. The definition of sound is vibrations that travel through the air. I met the sound of light at a bus stop. He smelled like grace, and please don't judge me. His sweat dripped mercy and second chances. I don't prefer these kinds of bus stops, you know, the ones that reek of poverty and abandoned dreams, the ones that challenge personal space. But that day, the weather arched over me, and under it I stood, desperately needing a seat. So I sat, so did he. Asked me what time the next bus was. 7 minutes, I said. Leaning on awkward humility, he told me he only had one eye. The other was disconnected from the socket. The one he did have was colorblind. So I have to rely on sound, he says. I can hear how close the cars are and how fast they're moving. My biggest fear is the electric cars because you can't hear them coming. His laugh was pungent. It's amazing how when God takes something away, he intensifies what you've got left. I asked him, what do you do when it gets dark? Pray. We laughed again, this time like reunited friends. Then he said, I don't worry, because there's no use for worrying and praying at the same time. They just cancel each other out. We got on the bus. I wished him a blessed day. When I turned around to let him know it was time to get off, I couldn't find him. He was gone. That was the moment I knew I'd met the sound of light. I could tell by confidence in his breath and faith batting in his eyes. He was a flare gun, a rescue, a first aid kit. He was a sacrifice. What does light sound like? I'll tell you. Psalms 2, verse 11, serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Tremble by definition is shaking or quivering, or typically as a result of anxiety, excitement, or frailty. It sounds like a wife on her knees who's been crying for weeks, praising God in advance because she won't accept defeat. Sounds like a father struggling with broken heart and no sleep, but he manages to pay rent and invest in mustard seeds. It's being broke and giving a family a ride when your tank is on E. It's praying for healing even for your enemies. It's a thunder that rumbles in the moment you tell God, I'm ready. It's a matchbox sound of fire rekindling a married couple. It's falling back in love and laughing again. It sounds like a 5'2" woman raising her fist to a 6'something giant of a bully. She's a riot who knows when she goes to her closet, she's coming out with an army of angels. She's wearing the armor of God. No weapon formed against her shall prosper. Light sounds like a pastor, first lady, and a handful of followers sacrificing everything they've got just to show God that what he's invested in living praise shall not be wasted. We praise in the midst of pain. We pray away doubt. We turn up the word of God and we tune everything else out. Light sounds like living praise. And in this place, our light knows how to rock out. Thank you.
Damn, I told y'all. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Black Swan.
That was
Yeah.
Oh, the energy was just so.
Now we know where CP learned his delivery.
That was lovely.
Yeah.
That was lovely. The beautiful stages. The beautiful stages were just
I almost feel for your neighbors, almost, because they have to deal with the whole stereo system, right? Golly. Whoo! Damn. Bus stops reek of poverty and abandoned dreams. Yeah, I've been to too many of those. I done sat in too many of those. Probably every grade of my life, I done sat on those damn bus stops. Trust and believe. She said being broke and investing in mustard seeds. Listen, that was in conjunction with what she said about coming out of the closet with an army of angels. For those of you who may not understand that reference, you're never too far from contacting the Most High, because you can use your closet as a phone booth, right? So that's kind of what she meant by that, coming out of the closet with an army of angels, because you've been in that phone booth contacting and connecting with the Most High. And so he's sending you the things that you need to get through. Thank you, Black Swan, for bringing that to us, right? Because we do pray in the midst of pain, right? Life does sound like living praise. And we are thankful that it sounds like poetry coming from, woo-hoo-hoo. Listen, I'll yell at y'all later. You know, that's gonna happen. Appreciate you for coming through, Black Swan. Coming up next, it's always good to see this poet coming in with the brim always low, keeping her thoughts concealed and shadowed, right? You know what this poet does. She is always coming through with the hot music, the hot, right? The one and only Marsha Rivera is in the building. Listen. Folks who know me, man, know I love my Liz, right? Marsha Rivera is just like, her style is so damn dope. It's always just like, boom. Let the folks know where they can find you. Marsha, it's always great to see you. Please, take it away.
You're too kind, Elemen2al. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings to all the poets before and after me. Thank you for the platform. This one's untitled. Never ever able to express what I felt, all the thoughts and questions I was compelled to hold, my emotions. When I reached within, allowed to hear my voice,
Come on.
now where it all started and why it all fed off of me. Made to feel ashamed, and laughter followed shortly. Always made it that I didn't appreciate what was done for me. Love given, then earned. Don't know how that came to be. Way back when it started and followed me throughout my history. I don't know if it could be called complacent. I just believed that something I refused to see from those who declare I love you, I got your hand. Had me believe a narrative written for me. Couldn't see, blinded with this heartbeat. Needed to see to believe that I mattered too. My emotions, feelings, thoughts, mental health, opinions, perception, reflection, my peace, my heart. Thank God it remains in his hands. And the glory. My being stops you in your tracks every time I illuminate. Divine light, it glows. Infuriates what lies beneath, below, what people don't see. When I refused, it happened long ago. When I refused to write a word, the enemy had to retreat, too young to understand the hand that planned, erased what God had placed, how the plan is written, and how it will come to be. The word is nothing to play with, be. So shall it be. 3 decades of silence kept me incubated, incarcerated, a life sentence imprisonment from those who held me, yet it was all to control me, traveled in time with me in different forms, and the core I continue to see causing hurt, just to do damage to me without thought of what it would do, the trauma I continue to withstand, and all it takes of me. Retreat to silence, refrain from violence. Hate in the heart, I refuse for it to take a spot. Hate doesn't have a place in this vessel, keep it walking the path, moving forward. Means I don't look back, forgive you, and walk away still doesn't change where it began. Now I understand. I walked away in silence, never spoken of my perception or people who see through my eyes to understand how it all felt to me. I don't know how to let the guard down. Work in process, at least I know where it all began, so I could proceed in peace. Thank you.
That's how you burn it down, Marsha. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Marsha Rivera.
Marsha, Brooklyn.
I appreciate you.
Masha, powerful.
Thank you for the platform.
Thank you for your vulnerability.
Thank you.
Listen, trust and believe, Marsha. We heard those breaths, right? And we are breathing with you, right? It's never easy to stand on this side of it. But guess what? Every time you do that, every time you say that poem, you take more of your power back, right? It becomes you even more, right? Now you're probably work 2.0, 3.0. It doesn't matter. Continue to reinvent yourself. Continue to be that person that you deserve to be, right? The word ain't nothing to play with, B. You know that, right? Hate doesn't have a place in this vessel. Come on. Come on. And knowing that means you got a lot of love to give, right? Know that. Thank you, Marsha Rivera, being such a mainstay of our community and bringing us just more incredible work, y'all. Listen, I love this community. Dropping in the bottom of the lineup. All right, we are going to close out this evening with these last poets, right? Listen, just because I said we're at the bottom of the lineup, don't get it twisted, right? It's still some powerful folks coming in at this point of the game. Trust and believe. Coming up next, this gentleman, look, this gentleman, there's just so many things to say about this gentleman, right? But one thing I love about this next poet is he was probably the first poet that I heard that went absolutely fearless with what he wrote. And I will always have respect for that. And he runs his own open mic. The one and only Dane Ince is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you and how they can connect with your open mic too. Always good to see you. Take it away.
Yeah, it's good to be here. And let me call up the thing. Time to Arrive Facebook. You can find it on Facebook. I'll put a link in the chat for everything about everything that's now what did they do? All right, these things, I don't know. The more I know about technology, the less I know. The less well I can do it. OG. I think some people have said call me an OG. I think I got some OG stuff here. Papa's Daddy. 2 pieces. First one's Papa's Daddy. I talked to a black man, and the stories he told, fighting for freedom while having none at all. How the house Negro ran the whole show because mass is just too slow to know. Still, we sail on slave ships even to today, wrecking on the shore. We say, stop it, loud and clear. We are not victims anymore. Listen to me, son, this you gotta hear. It takes hearts pumping blood to walk through the door. This is no place for knees on necks. He quoted the Bible, the Quran, all the knowledge new to me, mysteries and fables learned at the feet of elders. He quoted the last poets. The white man's got a God complex. He quoted Rahsaan Roland Kirk, Blackness, BLACKNUSS, played only on the black keys. Kirk tells us there are all kinds of crosses in his old rugged cross, the crisscross, the double cross. The cross is supposed to help you get across, not cross you up. Papa's Daddy, as he was fondly known, died today. COVID killed him. He was 93. Oh God, all the work I have to do on me. I won't forget what he told me, never. You won't forget either, because I told you some of it that I wrote down here for you and you and you to read forever. Next piece, just some thoughts. Entertain no literary trap of a prison. Be no slave to grammar or any syntax. Strip bare and be free of inhibition. In the face of your naked words, the readers blush and are filled with lust, want the next words even more. Fuck us with your language till we understand you like we are your idiot slaves. Recall your 500 lifetimes with smell, taste, touch, and sound. This meditation allows you to be the hub and practice charity on yourself for yourself. Rivers and creeks are talking all the time. Listen carefully. They will free you to speak and tell you the feeling and story you have inside. Carry the Dharma of rivers and creeks with you always. The form of Dharma inside you may be a flood. If you come to rest in the story before you feel it's complete, the next word is waiting in the feeling of what you have lived, felt, seen. Remember the picture. Hear the sound. The bell is ringing in your fingertips. See where the serenity resides and allow yourself the space and time to go there. Sacred, like your blooming garden, the time for tending, watching over, watching grow, accepting the fruit therefrom. Courage for the time things need to change when the pain is useless as rocks in the produce basket. Listen to the Dharma of the leader inside. The soft overcomes the hard. Be gentle, soft leader. Knowing the difference, change, no change, and standing still and letting storms pass. The Dharma of standing still. Lay down the burden of the world. It will roll on its own to tomorrow. It needs no push from you. Atlas is already on the job. Thank you.
And for all else, there's Dane Ince. Unmute yourself, give it up for Dane Ince.
Yeah, Dane. Spectacular work.
Awesome work.
Man, listen, I truly love stories like that. I love poems like that. In your first poem, right? It's those little things, right? Again, wish we never had to say those things, but we do, right? In his first poem, he said house Negroes run the show because mouths are just too slow to know. No place for knees on necks. And then this dude had the nerve to quote the last poets, who will also be in the house, one of them coming soon, to the white man's got a God complex. Said crisscross or double cross to make you jump. Be no slave to grammar or any syntax, right? Fuck us with your language. Listen, this is what you do. This is why I got nothing but love and respect for Dane Ince, because he's been fucking everybody with his words for as long as I've known him, right? And he continues to do that. Make sure you plug in with Dane Ince. That dude is cool, man. That dude is sick, but in the best of ways, right? Like, I think we all have a little bit of craziness in us. That's why we can write some of the things that we write, right? But it's having control, right? And listening. Said rivers and creeks are talking all the time. Thank you, Dane. Appreciate you. Make sure you're plugging in with Dane and Time to Arrive. Coming up next, a gentleman that I like to know, that I like to call the Iron Chef of poetry. He is always serving up the most delectable dishes in the form of poetry. I can definitely tell you that everything he thinks is all in his mind. The one and only Generalissimo Brian Franco is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Generalissimo. Take it away.
Gracias, Elemental. I'll just put all that in the chat later. I'll do two poems, and well, I just wanted to pull this one out of the archives. It is not about anyone in this room. I just want to say that. It's called Out of the Blue. He was a professed purveyor of pornographic poetry. His verse was replete with the type of sophisticated, elegant, lowbrow sexual imagery other writers secretly wished they could create. Despite his penchant for smut, he was a truly kind individual, but sometimes he suffered from a congenital case of out-of-the-blue motherfuckerness. Neither of his parents ever exhibited motherfuckerness, nor did any uncles, aunts, or siblings. The doctors had never seen such a mysterious occurrence of motherfuckerness. Though they never said it officially or told him, his medical team believed he might have been switched accidentally by a famous alcoholic nurse in the hospital nursery that was officially responsible for 18 proven unintentional baby switches discovered after her death in a hot air balloon collapse. Of course, this fact was discovered at least a decade prior to the manifestation of his motherfuckerness. Since he was eventually named Poet Laureate of San Francisco, then California, and finally the USA, in which he read a poignant, non-pornographic poem at the inauguration of President Drew Barrymore that resulted in a vocal bravo from the president and a standing ovation from a crowd of over 143,000 people. He became a spokesperson for Americans with out-of-the-blue motherfuckerness, lending acceptance to a previously unknown condition most people referred to as acting like an egregious asshole. Okay, and the next poem is a little more serious. Someone I know had something extremely ignorant said to them, and the person who said it had no idea that it was ignorant. And then when this person mentioned it to someone else, this other person tried to take up for the other person without even, when somebody says something that kind of cuts into the core of your being and doesn't understand that's what they're doing, it's kind of crazy. So this is called Ignorance Can Only Beget What It Begets. I don't comprehend ignorance. Ignorance is a hamster wheel that, like Mount Everest or Sir Edmund Hillary, will always be there. Purveyors of ignorance are not always aware the information they believe true is misinformation. It can cast a wide net that snags innocent bystanders by their ears. Ignorance is a lipstick tattoo put on a pig. If you shave a big hairy wild boar, it will always be inappropriate to cast that shaved wild boar as Wilbur in a live-action version of Charlotte's Web. Ignorance is verbal inertia causing reactions that exacerbate misinformation into hate. I wonder if Sir Isaac Newton's scientific theory was actually about ignorance, which somehow makes sense because ignorance by definition makes no sense. Thank you.
It does not. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Generalissimo.
Yeah, Brian. Generalissimo.
Yeah, listen. Thank you, Generalissimo, for sharing that incredible work. Both of those poems. I'm gonna go with the last one first, so I can get to the obvious one. You said shave the boar, and you can cast him as the pig and as Wilbur in Charlotte's Web. Yeah, that was beautiful. I don't know where or what blue that this motherfuckerness came out of, but I'm gonna need you to expand on that. Man. That was beautiful. Like letting the other people who are afflicted with this motherfuckerness come out. Yeah. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Generalissimo, for always serving up something delicious. We appreciate you. 100%. Coming up next, this gentleman continues to come with such incredible poetry, right? I've never, ever heard a poet who does what he does, and I'm thankful that I know this cat and his cool counterpart hanging out. What's good, Pinky? The one and only Jeff Cottrell is in the building. It's always great to see you, Jeff. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know how they can connect with all the incredible things that you do. Take it away.
All right, so I can be found at jeffcottrell.com, and I'm easy to find on Facebook and Twitter. And I'm going to be in New York again, May 19 to 22nd, planning to be at the New Yo on the 19th. I have new shit for you, and it has nothing to do with the theme. Or does it? You can judge for yourself. It's called How to Win Any Debate or Argument Without Even Trying. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Jeff Talk. So you'd like to learn how to win any debate or argument without even trying, would you? It's a simple technique known as the straw man, or for the mathematically inclined, the straw man squared. I like to call it the Benny. The first step, when somebody makes a point, you call that point a straw man argument. It doesn't matter how relevant or sensible the statement may or may not be. You can invalidate it just by labeling it as a straw man. And then here's the important part. You come up with your own straw man reason as to why that point is a straw man. Bonus points if you can twist your opponent's statement into a personal attack against you. And when your opponent rebuts, you shout, "I'm shutting you down," and then you strut away as if you've won by default. If you've done this correctly, your opponent will be too confused to offer any coherent counterarguments. Checkmate for you. Let's have a look at the straw man in action. I like apples. Apples are fine, but I prefer oranges. Straw man! That's a straw man argument. How is that a straw man? It's a straw man because you're saying I'm trying to ban oranges. You're implying apples are unhealthy and dangerous. I never said anything like that. I'm shutting you down. Person one struts away. You see how easy it is? Let's look at another example. Comic book movies are awesome because they kick ass. Sure, but I wish Hollywood had more room for original and independent fare. Straw man! That's a straw man argument. Huh? That's a straw man because you're saying comic book movies are childish and petty. You're saying I'm not smart enough to understand or appreciate art house cinema. Huh? I'm shutting you down. Person one struts away. And there, our expert scores another victory point. Mission accomplished. Now here's another common scenario. This one's a little more complicated, but watch how deftly our expert uses the Benny to pull off another triumph. We have to deplatform all writers and artists whose opinions I don't like. Doesn't that contradict freedom of expression, though? A truly free society welcomes all points of view and engages in nuanced, thoughtful... What are you talking? Straw man! Straw man! You're saying I hate free speech! Straw! You man! Shut up! You're kind of proving my... Shut up! Shut up! Just shut up! I'm shutting you down now! Person one struts away. And there you have it, another well-earned win for our hero. By using the Benny, we never have to engage honestly or directly with anybody else's perspectives ever again. One last point. I'm sure many of you are thinking that the satire of this whole piece is itself a huge straw man, just some bullshit I made up to distract from my own limited debating skills. This would make it a straw man, or if you will, a straw man cubed. Now, I don't blame you for thinking that, but one, I swear I'm not making it up. I actually know a couple of guys who do this stuff. And two, that's a straw man. It's a straw man because you're implying I'm made of straw. You're saying I'm a scarecrow, so I'm shutting you down. Thank you for attending my Jeff Talk.
I told y'all, Jeff is he's so damn Jeff. Unmute yourself, give it up for Jeff Cottrell.
Yeah, Jeff, there's no one like you.
Disappoint. Oh my God.
No one in the world like Jeff Cottrell. Really. Make sure you're checking out his manuscript as well. It's the voices for me. It really, straw man squared or straw man cubed. Listen, it's the voices, man. I'm shutting you down. Listen, I love it, right? And that's why I said there's only one, Jeff Cottrell. And I've never, ever heard anyone do that the way that Jeff Cottrell does it. It's genius, man. Thank you, Jeff, for sharing that with us. We appreciate you. Listen, you coming back to New York, man, is going to be crazy. I'm sure like the last time, it's going to turn up even more. Thank you for being a valued member of our community. Coming up next, talking about valuable members, this gentleman now runs and curates his own open mic, a beautiful, beautiful international space that happens, I believe, on Saturday mornings. This gentleman is always full of energy, even though it's like at the crack where he is. Listen, the one and only Unmesh Mohitgar is here. Unmute yourself, Unmesh. Let the folks know where they can find you. Always good to see you, Unmesh. Take it away.
Hey, Elemental. Hello, everyone. So this is Unmesh Mohitkar on Facebook and Instagram. I got an open mic. Let's Unmesh live every Saturday, 11 a.m. New York time. Here we go. It's called Bedbugs. My question today is, are you feeling itchy today? One of the greatest invention of God are the small microscopic bedbugs. They have everything which a gorilla fighter needs. They hide in places which you cannot even think of. In motels, 5-star hotels, in your bed, or on the chair you are sitting in right now. They don't differentiate, unlike human beings. They treat all human beings as equals, just a bag filled with red blood. Whole world is a pool of blood on their plate. Their battlefield is your bed, but they don't sleep on it. One should never sleep at work. They are very professional. They can be inside the crevices of your bed. In fact, they can hide on the wall just waiting for the nightfall when their enemy is asleep. Then they just suck the enemy's blood out using the incremental method. They don't drink all the blood at once, like a dumb, bloodthirsty Dracula. They preserve their prey for the next day. They keep on sucking off their innocent, unaware, and ignorant prey. Their stealth can put the world's greatest secret service to shame. The difference is they never fail in their mission. They know power is in numbers. They are not only interested in their food, they reproduce like jungle fire. Just imagine drinking blood in the night and sex in the day. They reproduce in such a way that they change the demography of the house. The house owner feels lonely. Thanks God they are not voters. The bedbugs will win a landslide victory. Human extinction might be triggered by bedbugs one day. Killing the bedbugs is a declaring war against yourself. Finding Dracula was easy. Just go to his castle and fight, or he comes to your house uninvited. Here, the enemy's castle is your house. If you destroy enemy's fort, you are destroying your house. The pest control people take the atomic route, take no prisoners. They just spray the smelly pesticide or bedbug spray all over the house, turning the house upside down. It is like burning the jungle to kill a rabbit. It's still not a sure shot cure. A small mistake by them, and the bedbugs rise from the ashes like a phoenix to attack the enemy with full of gusto. But my question is, are you feeling itchy today? Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Damn, Umesh, why you had to do that? You just so give it up for Umesh.
Super dope.
Yeah, I listen. I told y'all, Umesh has always got the energy, even though it's super early. Listen, and I love that, right? Just how real he made that for everyone, right? I love you said they treat all humans the same, bags of red blood, right? They don't discriminate. Everybody's the same, right? They preserve their prey for the next day, of course. The line that jumped out to me the most, Umesh, was you said, you know, when they come in to fumigate, you said it's like burning the jungle to kill a rabbit. Ah, man, come on. Come on, Umesh. Thank you for being such a valued member of our community. Make sure you're plugging in with Umesh's open mic, Let's Unmesh Life. I know he's got another book, right? Let's Unmesh Life, Light Shadow Life. Listen, make sure you're plugging in with Umesh. That dude, again, a valued member, so many things. All right, folks, last two poets of the evening. Coming up next, this poet is taking the spot of another poet. I don't know, I believe this is their first time rocking out with us. Possibly not, but I believe so. And I'm looking forward to hearing what amazingness that this poet is going to conjure this evening. The one and only Whisper Poet is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, how they can connect with you, and, you know, stalk you in the event that you need to come back here every Monday night. Please take it away.
This is actually my second time. I was on last week when Gene was hosting, and it was absolutely amazing. And I'm very thankful to Pam for giving me her spot tonight. And thank you all for letting me come in. I'm new, I'm late. quite know how it all works. So thank you for accommodating and allowing me to participate. So I went through a breakup this weekend, and I'm a little bit raw, and I wrote some things. So I'm going to share with you what I wrote. And so I'm going to start off with the heartbreak, and I'm going to finish with a little erotic. He shed me as a snake shedding its skin, holes torn in his graying shroud from the thorny thicket of my heart. His face showed no pain as he rent himself from himself. The ebony rainbow sheen of him revealed in the light of the sun as once more he was free. There's a cliff at the end of the world. I stand on the jagged precipice, looking out into the mist. The gravity of my dysfunction pulled you over the edge. And now I stand here, calling your name, my words falling away into the void. I don't know how to do this. People want to act like telling me it will be okay actually means something. I don't want their goddamn platitudes. I want you. All right, so that's the heartbreak. Now we're going to go with the fun stuff. This is called Insatiable. Wake up, bitch. You need to feed me. It's the litany from my task mistress below decks. My crazy ass vagina always wants sex. Morning till night, she commands me, exhorts me, demands me, extorts me. I wake up on fire, muscles taut like a wire. It's a constant urge to mate. Not even kidding. 24/7, I could masturbate. My pussy is in charge. I'm chasing down her road. Her pressure overwhelms me. I think she deserves her own damn zip code. She is fucking insatiable in her urge to fuck. And I'm just the passenger on her Mad Max horny truck. Thank y'all.
Oh, damn. Well, come on with the zip code then. Let us know. Unmute yourself. Give it up for the Whisper Poet.
Oh, yeah.
One of us. One of us.
One of us.
Oh my goodness. She said her old zip code. Damn it, Whisper. Woo-hoo. Listen. Oh my gosh. If that's not the sound of an alarm clock, she said, "Wake up, bitch. You need to feed me." I just knew it was a dog or a kid, maybe. Nah, she said her pussy's in charge. Well, I mean, at least now we know, she got chores in the morning. She got to wake up and feed something. Damn is right. Thank you, Whisper. Shout out to the Gorilla Poets. Listen, you heard some things, right? You heard one of us. That just means that you have been welcomed into our community, and you kind of fucked up because now you need to find yourself here every Monday to share all of your incredible work. Damn. Wake up, bitch, you need to feed me. Wow. Yeah, that's going to be, that's a nice one. All right, appreciate all y'all for hanging out with us this evening. We have gotten to the closer. And I keep telling y'all, this cat is cool as the other side of the pillow. The one and only Samuel Rain Benjamin, AKA Complicated Passions, in the building. Let these folks know how to find you, man. Take it away. Bring it home.
Good evening, poets, or should I say sweet poets, because that's the Nuyorican thing. I'm in California, and of course, I like to travel around the country, but I also like to come to this show just to even listen because I like to be inspired by your art. And so I was inspired this week by something I heard, and I'm like, I need to write one of those, but I've never written really I am poem, but I played it like 5 or 6 times yesterday. I played it today too. So I wrote DGM, which is Dark Girl Magic, and That Girl. So I spoke her name into a love poem. She had my attention. Well, it felt that way. She was the ocean and I wanted to be her sand. To feel her like the tide, I would rescind those same emotions. She would be my earth and I her rain. Seeding pleasure, she would nurture me. Like the sun raining down her love, she was the moon, saying I was her man. My heart thundered, loving everything about her. Like the wind, I could taste what she has become. I'm in love with that girl, and she's in love with me. You see, I made poetry on stage. Flowing distinct to paper was like getting laid. These poems and haikus, we smashed into dim lights. It was like limbers to sheet music when you do it right. So I made love to poetry last night. Caressed her surrender like a dream came true. Had my emotions taken by pleasure to hear her affectionately whispering, Samuel Rain, you a freak. Oh, she would take me deep. I had intentions of never letting go. Her wordplay was my submission. No options given. I only needed my pen to go all in. One word, next line, script in this dope rhyme, you see. I slept with poetry last night. And to understand, we all flow differently. Some of us flow rhymes and call it therapy. She said my words have waves, so I took out my pen like she asked me. And she said, write into me and make it nasty. And now she knows I would read her. It felt good discovering myself, true story, this past forgotten, these ancient memories feeding my soul. I wanted more, and she was giving, inviting me like home. She shared her emotions, leaving echoes on wall paintings. I spoke her name. She's Dark Girl Magic. It wasn't her appearance I fell into, thinking this what makes me. She was that dare I needed, I had to. She spoke her mind, and I don't mind the inner beauty moves me. I could taste the hunger. After all, she's temptation. If only she knew, Dark Girl, I'll be loving you with all of my senses. Not just the 5 they mentioned, my 360 coming in dimensions, encompassing. If I were making love, I would inhale the scent of you like the sheets do. Take your breath away like a silent movie to be deeper into you. You sing it to me and I come alive. As the fire in my body engulfs the depth of your soul, I feel you like music. I am complicated passions, the voice behind this pen. Thank you.
This has been another episode of the Complicated Broadcasting System. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Complicated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Work.
Hot.
I like that.
Listen, we have folks who set it off and we have folks who close it down. And that is how you do it, right? Said her inner beauty moves me. Woo! Listen, my heart thundered. Yeah, man. Yeah, they have a tendency to do that. Like the wind, I can taste what she's become. Man. Be careful with that shit, man. You got people falling in love and shit, man. Be careful with that. Be careful slinging that around like that, man. See, I met poetry on stage. Woo! Then he slept with poetry last night. Hey, that's a bad mother. Shut your mouth for real. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Complicated, for coming through, man, and all that you do. Listen, y'all, to every poet who touched the stage this evening, from the beginning with Michael Sindler to the closer, Darkman Blues. Shout out to the folks who couldn't make it this evening. Hope they're able to come back next week. Did see DG clearing. Always glad to see that cat. Listen, we've made it to the end, folks. I truly cannot thank you enough for spending your Monday with us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to hang out with us. Truly, truly love all of y'all for all that you do. You really make this thing work. Really, it's just my pleasure to be here with y'all. Listen, make sure you are plugging in with the crew. Get up with Ray J and Thunderlung Thursdays. Make sure you are plugging in with RMT. Damn it, you know you should be. All right, we will see y'all next Monday. Make sure you're plugging in to Thunderlung Thursday, Guitar Thursday. It really goes down. So until we meet again, may this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Monday night with you. For all the new faces and all the ones that we have missed. Until next week, peace and blessings.